Welcome to the lazyfluency podcast, where we have casual conversations switching between English and Japanese, so you can learn from and with us along the way. I'm Joey.
I'm Yami.
And the topic of the day is...
あだ名.
But before we get into that, make sure to like, subscribe, follow, and or drop a review on whatever platform you are listening on. We appreciate the support. With that out of the way...
あだ名. はい。イェイ。そう、今回のテーマはですね、あだ名ということで、まあ、ちょっと、あだ名の付け方がちょっと日本とアメリカとなんか違うなっていうのを気づいてっていうか、まあはい。で、ちょっと今回話そうかなと思いました。
Well, I think the first thing we noticed is that you gave almost all your friends have nicknames.
まあ、そうだね。
Well, and I don't mean like nicknames like, we'll get into like American nicknames or whatever, but my perception of nicknames is kind of like things that you almost give to yourself. Like you have a name, and then you have a nickname on that name. But all your friends' nicknames seem to be given to them by your friends, which is something I found was pretty interesting.
アメリカは自分でこう呼んでって言うんだ。
Yeah, I guess we can start with me, or do you want to go into your, the Japanese side of nicknames first?
じゃあ日本のね、ニックネームの付け方からやってみようか。
Okay, cool.
なんて言うんだろう、ちょっと、全部カバーはできないけど、すごい日本のニックネームの付け方って独特で、なんかいろんなパターンがあるのよ。例えば、木村拓哉っているじゃん。いるんだけど、有名人でね。木村拓哉。
Okay, I do not know this, but
そう。木村が名字。
I will take your word for it.
木村が名字で、拓哉が名前なのね。
Okay, yeah.
はい。で、これは、キムタクなの。木村のキムと、拓哉のタク。キムタク。
キムタク?
Yes.
That is really bad. That makes me think of like Kimo Otaku.
キムタク、まあ、キムオタクに聞こえるっちゃ聞こえるけど、まあ、キムタクなんだよね。で、だから、この場合だと、名字と名前、なんか、2文字ずつ取って、つなげるみたいな感じね。これがワンパターン。
Yeah.
だから、田中花子だったら、棚花、ちょっと言いづらいね。まあ、言いづらい言いにくいっていうのも、まあ、このニックネームの付け方に関係あるね。そうそう。
Yeah.
で、
That definitely wouldn't work in with any like English name.
英語でないよね、この
I'm
名
trying to
字
think.
と。
Peter White. Poite.
あるないよね。
No.
そもそもね、だって、ファミリーネームでニックネームしないでしょ？
Oh, that's pretty, well, I actually don't think, yeah, I'm just thinking about it. I don't think we have nicknames for people's last names or family names.
そもそもファミリーネームで呼ばないよね。
I mean, like, it's only really used for legal situations pretty much, so because of that, it'd be weird to have, like, on your driver's license, if your last name is, I don't know, let's say, like, Smith. You could have, I mean, Smith is already one syllable. It's a terrible, what's like a shoemaker? I know some shoemakers. So if you just, like, abbreviated shoemaker to shoe. Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
なんか言ってた?
Oh, no, I was just saying that we don't abbreviate our last names. They're all meant for like legal documents, so it would come off kind of ridiculous to abbreviate like a name like shoemaker just to shoe.
そうよね。まあ、で、じゃあもう一回戻るけど、で、他には、まあ、なんとかちゃん。ごめん、なんとかちゃんとか、なんとか、ありすぎだな、ちょっと、バーって言うけど、全部じゃないけどね。ちゃん、なんとかちゃそ、なんとかちゃま、なんとかチュン、なんとかシャン、なんとかタン、なんとかタソ、なんとかチャー、なんとかん。なんとかんって結構いるかもしれない。あやみだったらあやみんとか、 最後にんつけるの。
What's the... Okay, hold up. You dropped a lot there, and I'm curious... Okay, so can we go back? That was a lot. Wait, so I've heard of some of those before. Tan, I've only heard that from like what would you call it? Gross otaku sort of like towards like women. Yeah, like the tan.
なんとかタンあるね。だからなんとかタンも言うね。だからあやみタンとかあやみタン。
What does the tan do? So like if have we had an episode about honorifics? I think we've talked about honorifics at some point.
honorifics って何
？Like sama, san, stuff like that. Chan.
そう。ちゃんとか多分ちゃんがね、タンになったんじゃない？なんとかちゃんがちょっと音似てるじゃん。ちゃん、タンって。
Well, they all like I said, so san, sama, chan, what is it? The other one, kun. Those I kind of understand the vision of and the intent of them. But can you go through that list again?
さっきのだって10分の1ぐらいだよ。ここに載ってるだけでね。他にも載ってない以外にもあるからさ。
Yeah, well, I'm just curious about the yeah.
でしょ、ヤン、ハン、チン、リン、メロ、メル、ニャ、ミュー、ニャン、ピョン、ポポ、コロ。
Oh God. Hold up.
シャン、ペコ、チ、ス。
I've never heard. Have you actually heard these? Like people called.
聞いたことある
You
よ。
call somebody like.
大体聞いたことあるかも。
How do you, wait? Is this on your first name or your last name?
first name だね。だから、あやみ。あやみに、この今言ったやつをつけるの。あやみの後に。だから。
So, あやみメロ。
あやメロだね。そしたら、あやメロ。
Oh, so you remove the last.
そう。
Okay. Wait, so it depends on which one you use.
そう。
あやメロ。
2文字で、だいたい2文字でつけるかな。あや。
Well, not tan, right?
あやたんとか言うよ。あやたん、あやめろ。あやめる、あやにゃ、あやみゅ、あやにゃん、やば。あやころ。
Do any of these actually have like is any information actually being transferred through any of these editions of like the additional? I don't know if these are even honorifics at this point.
何説明ってことこういうなんでこうなったか。
No. You're saying like middle. And so if somebody does that mean like you're a specific type of person?
なんかね、なんとかメロって言われると、女の子っぽいみたいな。あやめろ。なんだろうね。あやめろ。じゃあ、あやみとさ、あやめろ、どっちのがさ、女の子っぽい？
I don't know if I can evaluate that. A lot of these just sound like they would only show up in like an anime.
でも普通になんとかメロとかいるよ。あだ名でね。
And it also just makes me think of melons.
なんか日本では、サンリオのキャラクターで、マイメロっているんだよ。多分そっからもじってんだと思うけど。
マイメロ
っていう、マイメロディーっていうそのキャラクターがいいんだけど。そう。
Oh, so not melons.
そう、メロンじゃなくて、マイメロっていうキャラクターから多分来てんのかな。そう。で、なんとか、まあ、いろいろあるんだよ。はい。だから自分っていうか、日本ではね、基本的に、ごめん。日本では基本的に自分で作れる。何でもいい。私がジョイのことをジョジョとか言ってもいいし、なんか、G とかでも何でもいいし、あと、なんていうの？マジックバカでもいいし。
We do have, well, I find it interesting that people, do you think, so, I mean, at least the stereotype in anime, and obviously have some real life experience calling Japanese people by their first name, but the vibe is that it is embarrassing to use someone's first name because, I mean, especially if it's like a boy to a girl, because then it can imply you're really close.
あ、そうだね。
And because of that, maybe it's easier to use a nickname, or is that worse? Is a nickname more or less casual? You know what I'm saying? Like if let's say that you have a friend that is a boy, and in public, if he called you Ayami versus Ayatan or Ayamero.
ああ、はい。そのあやたとかやめろっていう方がちょっと、なんて言うんだろう、親密感は出てるよね。めっちゃ仲いいみたいな。
Okay, so are most of these only if you're very close?
まあ、仲良くなくても、みんながそう呼んでたら、そう呼ぶみたいな感じもあるよね。だからみんなから私が
That's so weird.
なんかみんなから私があやたんって呼ばれてたら、初めて喋ったり、あんま喋んない子でも、あやたんは、なんとかかんとかとかなんか話しかけることもできるよね。みんながそう呼んでるから。
Wait, so if you were introducing yourself, let's say everybody calls you Ayatan, and then you have to do a self-introduction. Do you say Ayatan des?
あ、
or
違う。最初はね、もうフルネームで言うね。私。
Is it? Oh, it's still like you can't say son. You know, I know because you can't say like Joey-san or Joey-sama or whatever. I'm wondering if the nicknames you can go like Ayamero des.
まあ言えるっちゃ言えんじゃない？まあ人によるけど。なんとか、まああやめろって呼んでほしかったらあやめろって呼んでくださいみたいな。そうそう。
I mean, that sounds super informal. Do you think this like in a business? Are there any ones that work in a business setting?
ビジネスは絶対無理だよね。
Well, any of them? Is there any like?
いやー、ビジネス
are there any ones that you think can pass?
多分ないんじゃないかな。多分ないと思うな。わかんない。そのビジネスの現場にいたことがないから。そうね。あとなんかね、なんとかさんって言うと、ちょっと距離を感じるかな。例えば、田中花子です。私が田中花子だとすると、田中さんって言われると、ちょっとあんま親しくないのかなみたいな。
Yeah, I mean, I feel that. I mean, so I guess we can talk about the American side of things because, yeah, naming so my name Joey comes from, like it's not my real, it's not even my first name, and it comes from my middle name, which is Joseph, and that's really common. Things like that are really common in the U.S. So. And there are a lot of versions of that where it might not be your middle name, but you'll go off of a shortening of your first name or a different version of your first name. Like if your name, I'm trying to think of the less weird examples first. Like if your name is, what is it? There's a lot of like Toria or, this is actually harder than I thought. There's a lot of names that have like, Alexander. If your name is Alexander, you go by Alex.
Alex, ne?
Yeah, and you can shorten it down. There are many names like that. I'm just going to... if your name is Tobias, you can go by Toby.
Tobias de Toby nanda.
Yeah. And so a lot of them have shortenings like that. But there's also another weird category where names just kind of have a different version. So, like Richard is the other version of it is Dick.
だって R 入ってないじゃん。
Although normally people don't go by. I think this is an older thing, where people used to go by Dick more often, but it's just too much of a meme to actually go by it. Another one is, hold up, am I getting this wrong? Is Bob also? I think Bob is also Richard, if I'm remembering correctly.
Richard.
No, hold up. No. Wait, yeah, I think, isn't it? Hold up. Let me double. Didn't we have a list here, I think, or we had a list.
Richard?
Because are both of those Richard?
Richard は Bob ってこと?
Yeah, isn't it? I swear it was. I'm trying to remember.
Rich とかじゃないんだ.
Wasn't? Well, that feels right. Although, is everything just Richard? I mean, like mine. What was it? There's some other weird version of the name but what we learned about the Richard example at the very least, and to why it's called the Dick, is they came from shortenings from Richard, and then basically you take the shortening. So we'd have Richard becomes Rick or Rich, and then you just play around with it. So from Rich, you could change the consonants on the front, and you could have Hick, you could have Dick, and apparently Dick stuck. And apparently that's how that actually converts over. I remember noting down some other ones, but cannot find them right now, which is a bummer. Like other things like Richard. But anyways, I don't actually know. The only time anybody gets a nickname is normally if they're not somebody in your direct friend group, in my experience. So if it's like some mailman down the street, you'd be like, I don't know, maybe your friend group would come up with a name with him. Like Mr. Mail. I don't know. Probably not that. But normally like within the friend group, I call all my friends just by their first name. It's nothing fancy.
そうね。だから名字で読まないってことでしょ?
Oh, yeah, no. I'm just saying I don't add tan or chan or chun or middle.
なるほど、ね。
Middle's hilarious.
ミドルネームってあれさ、あれは、まあでもニックネームで使うっちゃ使うんだよね。だって上下がそうだから。
Yeah, middle names are weird. They aren't normally necessary for most legal documents. So they just kind of are, and people can either play with them or not play with them. Yeah, middle names are weird. The more I think about it, actually, because they're only ever relevant if you're asked for your entire full name, and most of the time, middle names are optional even then. Yeah, it makes me kind of wonder the purpose of them.
ね、ミドルネーム。まあここも違うよね。日本語ではミドルネームがないから。
So that's why you have to have all the tan and chan. I mean, I'm down with the middle names. I just don't really think they have a very defined purpose.
あれ、多分ミドルネームつけるのってさ、アメリカだと、まあアメリカに限らず、まあ英語圏だと、日本の名前よりもバリエーションが少なすぎてさ、同姓同名が増えちゃうからミドルネームつけるみたいな話聞いたことあるんだけど、あれ本当なのかな?
I mean, I don't think really I don't think Japanese names have really that much variation. And and especially like
漢字違うし、読み方違うし、なんなら名前だっていろいろバリエーション。
I mean, most of I think we talked about this before, but most Japanese names used to be extremely until recently, people started being very fancy with all their names and readings. And it's just, I mean, it's kind of like English, where things were based around your surroundings. That's why you have like Tanakas and Yamadas, with all like the mountain plains. Sorry, mountain. What do they call it? The rice paddy field, and like all those very common objects and things around them. And in English, you have the same thing, where based on your work. So shoemaker, blacksmith, smith. What are other common last names? Oh, brook, which is like a stream. But yeah, I mean, I think they're pretty similar. I don't think that, I doubt that has to do with it. I mean, it could. I don't know. I don't know as much about it. All I know is in Korea, they can get by with just having like all the same last name. So, I mean, apparently it doesn't, I don't know. Every system seems to work somewhat.
ねえ。思いついたわ。英語でさ、名字使わないって言ったけど、ちょっと使う場合もあるよね。 AJ とか言うじゃん。その、
Oh, yeah, I was going to
Alex、
mention that. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
J なんとかなんとか。そう。
Yeah, BJ is randomly a very common name, which is hilarious. And I
BJ。
don't know why you would ever, yeah, BJ as in like blowjob. I don't know why it's a common name, but I've known BJs. I've known DJs and BJs, and it's just embarrassing. Sorry to any BJ or DJs out there, but like, Jesus, what is going on there? I think those, yeah, you're right about them being initials, but honestly, I'm
キム
not
タク
sure.
と一緒じゃん、それ。木村拓哉のキムタクとさ、その BJ とかさ。
I mean, it's
同じでし
it's
ょ
the initials only. It'd be kind of like
あ
Kita.
あ。そうか。
But you know, it's terrible. I really don't understand how anybody's allowed to name their son, like son or daughter BJ or DJ. Or I guess they don't name them, but I mean, I'm assuming the parents are the ones who said you have to use a nickname.
うん。
Because like that's the only reason I call myself Joey is because my parents called me Joey.
うん。ジョセフもさ、いろんな言い方ある。ジョーもあるし、ジョイもあるし、あとなんだ
Yeah. Oh no, I have a lot of people call me different variations of Joey, and I just roll with it.
うん。
Some people think my name is Joe, and I'm like, cool.
でしょそうそうそう。ジョー、うんね。そうね。面白いよね、これ。絶対研究してる人いると思うよ。名前のなんかこういう呼び方みたいな。
Yeah.
うん
And if you guys have any favorite nicknames, actually, or you know what, we can give you your own. We'll give you a nickname, or at least a Japanese variant of your nickname, because I think it's hilarious. If you want.
ね、
But
名前ちょっと
we can-
偽名でもいい
we
か
can
ら
throw-
くれたら。
Yeah, then we'll convert it for you into a Japanese memified nickname,
サービスでございます。
which you can drop a
料金はい
comment
ただきませんの
on
で。
YouTube. I don't think you can drop comments anywhere else, but you can also send an email to lazyfluency@gmail.com.
Yes.
まだ病気だ。イェイ。
No.
それと戻りました。
Yeah, so you're back.
エピソードにあまり出てないといいんだけど。ジョイ頑張ってるんだけど。ちょっと苦し
Are
い。
you feeling sick? Like, how?
Yeah.
Like,
まあ、大丈夫だけど、いつも咳してる。それだ
please
け。
do not cough
まあ
in the episode.
鼻詰まってるんだけど。
I know.
なんか普通の声と、今週と、選手の声が違うかもしれない。
ね。
でも、とりあえず、他のことについて話そう。
Okay.
なんか私が今まで、まあ大学で日本語を専攻したんだけど、日本語に専攻したんだけど、実は日本の歴史について、まあ何も分かってないはちょっと違うんだけど、その古い歴史については何も分からなかった。それで今日、ついにその日本の時代についてもう少しだけ学んだ方がいいかなと思った。それで、
Okay, sure.
最初から、日本の文明の最初から、なんかそれぞれの時代の、まあ、少しぐらいのあらすじと、その、なんていうか、都市の範囲を暗記した。でも、まだまだ、なんていうか、完全に暗記してないから、その話しないんだけど、一応、なんていうか、リスナーさんが日本の時代知らないなら、少しだけ最初から説明した方がいいと思った。
Oh, tell me, Teacher Joey.
そう。今からやるよ。
Go ahead.
まずは、実はこの時代についてわからなかった。さっき調べたんだけど、私が最初に使ったイラストはちょっと間違っていた可能性がある。でも、旧石器時代はまず、でも、こんなことについて聞いたことないから、旧石器時代は何か知ってる？多分なんか、旧石器だから、その古い石しか存在しなかったってこと？
Yeah, I guess like, so for Kyuseki, it means like, they used
Stone Age.
rocks as knives or something. Yeah.
そうかもしれないね。 で、旧石器時代、あとは縄文時代。縄文時代について聞いたことあるんだけど、だいたい旧石時代と何が違うかちょっとわかんないんだけど、まあ、これは日本の文明は縄文から始まるでしょ。その中、みんなが思う日本。
But like we're taught that Cusick yeah, I guess at school we are taught out of those jidai. Yeah.
And then 縄文の後は弥生時代。弥生時代はその稲作が始まった時代。日本はなんか米で有名国だから、それは弥生。で、弥生の後は古墳時代。古墳時代で特に何が起こったか今わからないので大和政権、なんとか大和なんとかについてのことがあったんだけど、なんか一応大和のなんかブラッドラインみたいなことについて聞いたことあるんだけど、これはその大和なの？
大和 is what?
なんかブラッドライン、その地のなんていうかみんな同じ大和の地があるってこと。
I don't know. I'm so sorry. I can't answer that.
大丈夫だよ。まあ、古墳時代の後は飛鳥時代。飛鳥時代は実は大事。その仏教が日本に来た時、それは飛鳥時代。で、続いて奈良時代。奈良時代は日本の貴族が作られた時代。そのいろんななんていう偉い人の参上。で、続いてわかんないんだけど。で、平安時代は有名だけど、私が今日なんていうか、昨日、なんか、なんていう詳しく平安時代について全然わからなかったから、ちょっと、なんていうか恥ずかしいんだけど、一応平安時代は、ほとんどの日本の文化かな、その武道の、teachings 教えいるかな、が平安から来る。で、平安の後は鎌倉は戦争いっぱいでいろんなことが起こったかもわかんない。幕府なんとかなんとか。で、室町時代は大体同じじゃないですか。わかんないんだけど、今思い出せない。で、もう5つしか残る。鎌倉の後は室町、それから安土桃山時代、それから江戸時代、明治、大正、昭和、平成、令和。その江戸からの時代は大体、みんなわかってる。多分江戸じゃない。明治から。明治はその日本の帝国が始まった時と、大正と昭和と平成と令和は、1910年から今までの歴史。これは役に立ったかどうかわかんないんだけど、一応私はすごくバカだから、みんなこの時代について聞くときに、それはなんとなく同意が言ってたから、その時代があったことってぐらい分かってなんていうか、それぐらいができるなら嬉しい。
Like, I forgot like the order of those jidai, so and I guess most
the Yayoi Asuka Nara.
Yeah, like around that time, and I guess like many people forgot this because we were taught this when we were in like junior high or even elementary school, so most people, I guess forgot the older,
日本のなんかアメリカのなんか大学で日本語を勉強してるならこんなことは絶対学ばないから。
like so you remember this just for like understanding the story of anime or something?
いやそういういやただ日本語なんか が専攻だから、一応歴史についてもう少しした方がいいんじゃないかと思った。
We don't talk about this in daily conversation, you.
いや、でも出てくる。平成、昭和、平成何年平成
Yeah,
2
around
年
that time, but
と
like,
か。
we don't talk about
で、
奈良時代
平安時代
or
と江戸時代は結構有名でしょ。
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. But
いや
not like
鎌倉
Heian
も。
時代よ。or
で
Asuka
も、
時代。Yeah.
そう、飛鳥時代はこうとこう縄文もよく出てくると思う。なんか一応祭りがあるでしょう。縄文。
I don't know.
あると思う。
Yeah. Yeah, if you go to like historical places, then yeah, information will help you to understand the origin. Maybe, yeah.
じゃあもっと面白い話しようぜ。
Okay, okay.
というのは最近なんかあったでしょ
う。like for me?
そう。
So, okay, so I got shipping problem again. So right now,
やった
America.
やった、なんか祝ってる。
No, we can't celebrate because we're having problems. So, but yeah, basically in America, they have lots of packages to deliver. So it took like 1 week to just go through the customs, right? Customs?
うんうん。
Yeah.
2週間かかったでしょ ?1 週間だけじゃなくて。
Oh, yeah. 10 days, 11 days. Yeah.
うん。
Yeah, so yeah.
日本からアメリカは3日間だけ。
Yeah, it took only 3 days to go to America from Japan, but it took more than 1 week, almost 2 weeks to just
leave customs.
Yeah, get delivered to the place. Yeah, inside America. Yeah, and also I'm having this exam week really soon. I'm so freaking out. I'm freaking out and I'm so dead. I don't know what to do. Please help me. Yeah, I'm so sorry. And yeah, a lot happened this week. I got my wisdom tooth removed. Yeah.
So
this Monday, which is 1 week before. Yeah, I just have only one wisdom tooth. So in the bottom right corner, can you say that? Yeah, bottom right corner. And I expected to have how do I say, swollen cheek. But unluckily, I didn't have the swollen cheek, so I'm kind of disappointed. Because, you get to experience.
でも、swollen cheek がないから、なんていうか、そういう文句言えないでしょ。なんか、腫れてたら、なんか、先生に、ごめんね、今日、授業行けなくてさ、みたいなことできるでしょ。
But so I canceled one class, like for teaching Japanese to American student. And I just said, my mouth doesn't work, so I can't have lesson tomorrow. So I just said that. So I didn't send it. I didn't say that I don't have swollen cheek or something. So I just said that I can't do that. Yeah.
残念.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, I just wanted to have swollen cheek. That's about me. Yeah.
じゃあ、私は殴れるんだけど、よかったら。
No, please. That's, you know what? That's called violence.
暴力。なんか日本にいたときいろんな、何でしたっけ？なんとか暴力。その家族内の暴力。
domestic violence, DV?
そう。
Yeah.
そう。
Yeah.
日本語で何でしたっけ？
家庭内暴力？
家庭内暴力だったかな。
Yeah.
その電車でいろんな ポスターが貼った。
貼ってあった。So how's your greenhouse event going?
進んでるよ。
多
分、来週か、再来週、完成できるんじゃないか。完成できると思う。わかんない。最近すごく雨降ってるから、なんか雨降ってる時に、その構造やるのは結構無理。でも同時に庭にとっていいことだから、ちょっとなんていうか、どっちも、なんか、雨が降っても降ってなくても、ちょっと、どっちも悪い状況。でもどっちもいい。それで、そんなに、なんていうか、ちょっと変な状況。
But yeah, like, I hope you can complete building this greenhouse very soon. Yeah.
作れるといいね。
Yeah, yeah.
And we're back, this time with a special new section.
新しいセクションでございますよ。ちょっと皆さん。
So still, this section is open to questions, comments, anything from the viewers, listeners, from people who sent emails to lazyfluency@gmail.com, through comments in the YouTube section, Reddit, etc. And we kind of thought of a new section that we can actually maybe get more engagement from people directly. And tentatively, we're calling this story time.
Yay! Patch patch.
Patch patch.
Patch patch.
And so story time, pretty self-explanatory, but if it isn't obvious, we'll basically asking for any stories you guys have that you guys think is interesting enough to share about your experience traveling abroad or using your foreign language or the language you're learning, whether it be Japanese or English, basically a language learning and or cultural story that you think is fun or interesting to talk about, or you want to get our opinion on something.
そうね。だからまあ。
Yeah, as an example. Oh yeah, sorry, go ahead.
新しいね、セクション3いつもはなんかラントとか質問集めとかいろいろやってたけど、まあ、ストーリータイムということで新しい、カテゴリーが増えまして、なんだろう、日本に、来た時とか、海外に行った時の、いろいろ面白事件とかね、出来事とか、いろいろあればね、なんかシェアしていただきたいなっていうのと、あと、文化的なね、質問であったり、なんていうの、アドバイスも、欲しいとかいろいろね、なんか、ランダムなことでもいいので、はい。ぜひ。って感じだね。OK?
Yeah. And so that I'm going to start, I actually have plenty of stories. So, I mean, we do want you guys to send stories. And I'm assuming Ayami has plenty of stories as well. But yeah, I want to start with a story about how I lost my wallet in Japan. Actually, I lost it twice. Or I guess the more accurate statement is I lost my wallet and then I lost my wallet again.
バカですか?
So this story starts out when I'm traveling abroad, and in the program I'm on, they have a section, like a 1-week section that they allow us to go on break, but the rest of Japan isn't on break, but only our program is on break. Okay. So we're able to travel wherever we want. And I was with a group of 4 people, and we had a week, and we wanted to travel to Tokyo and Hokkaido. We wanted to travel to multiple locations, but primarily we're like, we don't have the time or the money to travel to places like Aomori or Okinawa. We wanted to travel to Okinawa really bad. Or Nagano, which is where you can get the to see the cool snow monkeys they have in Nagano. So we were basically forced to only, it's not a bad thing, but we basically had to go to Tokyo for 3 days. And then after Tokyo, we had a flight to Hokkaido. And so this story starts on the last day of being in Tokyo. the same day that we need to go to Hokkaido. Or I guess more accurately, if I'm being realistic, it starts 2 days before that, because that is actually the day I lost my wallet. But the day of complete hectic panic is 2 days following. So we're in Tokyo. We have 2 days left. And I'm at a card shop. And we went down to, I think we're in Akihabara. And we were all, some of my friends like figures, like anime figures. And so we were down there. I'm into cards. So I was looking at like Magic and Yu-Gi-Oh cards and some other stuff like that, primarily. But so some time along the trip, I guess I should give an example of our program gave us a lot of money that for like cultural fest or cultural usage that we could use on whatever we wanted, basically, but for stuff related to Japan. And in this context, I think that would count as figures or whatever. But so they had recently given that to us. So I had that money in my wallet. I had all my forms of identification in my wallet. I had my credit cards in my wallet. I should have kept these things separate, but hindsight is hindsight, and I was not thinking about it at the time. And so at around, I think 5 p.m., after having like bought some Magic cards, we went out to eat, and at some point I noticed when I tried to reach for my wallet, I did not have it. This was really bad because in Japan, for those who don't know, if you do not have your identification card or your residency card, you can straight up just get deported. And not only did I lose that, but I also lost like $1,000 of US dollars, which were in my wallet. 1,000, like well, maybe it was like $1,000 worth of yen.
10万
10万 Yeah.
10万円なくしたの
Yeah, 10万円 as well as yeah. So 10万円 as well as all my credit cards, all my forms of identification. And literally everything. But the thing is, Tokyo was so dope that I was like, this isn't a big deal. I'm having fun. Whatever. And so my friends paid for my ramen. Well, it was. I had to go to the police station, and after the police, and I had to report everything. But I wasn't really mad. Only my the program director was really mad, and my host mother was mad. But I was like, I'm in Tokyo. I'm having a good time. I can't be. You can't rain on my parade. And so, yeah. So then after that, my friends kind of were broing me out and paying for my food and stuff like that. And I also during this time, because I have no shit. I mean, I don't know if I have no shame, but I just literally had no money. I had to borrow money from a Japanese friend I had who just happens to live there, who goes to the same school I went to in America. And so he ended up loaning me $500, which I got back to him. But let's proceed with the story, because too much stuff actually happened within a very small period of time. So 2 days later, this is the day that we're leaving to go to Hokkaido by plane. And I get a call at 9 in the morning to hear that I got my wallet back. And then somebody deposited. Well, they just said that my wallet was left inside one of the police departments.
Okay.
Little did the police department know, literally the previous day, so I have a coin wallet, sort of, one just meant for coins. After the day after I lost my first wallet, almost the exact same thing, but I think it was at a konbini, I think I threw my wallet in the trash accidentally. I never confirmed it, but yeah. Oh, hold up. No, actually, no, it's even worse than I'm remembering. This was the day I got my wallet back. So I went to the police station. I get my wallet back. I'm so happy. It has all the money in it. Super grateful that Japanese people aren't stealing stuff from my wallet or my money or anybody thing. Very happy. Very nice. Yeah. Very nice people. But I remember why I lost my wallet. It was my fault, but it was understandable. And so the reason is to get back to the police department, it was in Akihabara. So we had to go back out. And my friends and everybody decided, we have to hit a flight at 12 o'clock, but we could spend more time here. And so people went looking for figures and a bunch of stuff, and we lost track of time and had only like 30 minutes left to catch our train. Or I think maybe it was 45. But we were all hungry. So we stopped at a convenience store, and that's when I lost my second wallet. Because I somehow managed to I think I put my wallet in like one of the bags I bought something in and then threw that in the trash. Luckily, this wallet only had like some coinage and probably like $20 to $30. So it could have been worse.
何? コインだけが入ってんのそれは?
Yeah, but I mean, I think some money too, but it was only like $30. But it was like a handmade wallet. So that's kind of why it was a bummer. And I only noticed when we got onto the train that I lost my wallet. But oh man, I'm trying to speed through this there's so much shit happened in one day. It's kind of ridiculous. So after we train, our flight leaves at 12. Let's say 12. I'm pretty sure something like that. Like I said, we're already running late. We arrive at what we think to be the train station. And we go down to the platform, get on. We look on the schedule and see that there should be a train coming at, let's say 12:03. And then we have a train at I think 12:05. We think that we get onto the train at 12:03, assuming that it came 2 minutes early. About 2 minutes pass while we're in the train, and we see another train come back in the opposite direction, and we realize while we're on the train that is the train we were supposed to get on. Because in Japan, people aren't late even by 2 minutes.
もう時間きっかりに来るからね。
Yeah. And because of that, we had to take the train back, get back on the ride, switch trains. And then obviously that ended up making us late for the airplane. So when we get all the way to the airport, we then have to pay for another flight because we missed our flight. And we missed our flight only by like 3 minutes. So missing that train ended up being terrible. Yeah, no, it was very painful. Only when we arrive in Hokkaido, as I leave my train, my phone slips out of my back pocket, and I leave it on the train. So I've lost my phone twice, and my phone within a basically 48-hour period, and thankfully, as the door closes, I realize my phone is gone in my pocket. And I see a Japanese lady's hand extend through the door opening of the Hokkaido train, like the door. And then it opens back up, and she's like, and she tells me I left my phone, and I was like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
And,
oh my God.
Yeah, so that was huge.
やばいね。その人にさ、10万入ったさ、お財布あげればもう、ありがとうございますって。
Yeah.
すごいな。
And, yeah, that actually is not the end of the story, but the full story would be much longer. But at least in terms of me losing stuff, I'll leave the story there. I might finish it later if people are interested. Or maybe if we don't get a story, I'll finish the full story about what happened. Because this is that's basically the first half of the same day, and the latter half is kind of equally whack.
ねえ。アンラッキーだけど、まあここで話すネタになってよかったんじゃない？
Yeah. So if you guys want to hear the rest of this story, let me know. Or send your own stories about your experiences in Japan. Also, yes, I know I'm an idiot. I shouldn't lose my wallet and phone. I mean, just at all, but also 3 times.
バカ。
I don't know. I don't know what to say. I apologize.
スフーだよ。
That bell means we've reached the end of today's episode. Thanks for joining us in another lazy conversation towards fluency. If you have any language-related questions and/or just looking for general advice, send an email to lazyfluency@gmail.com, and we might respond in the next episode. Also, make sure to check out our podcast on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and more. We'd appreciate the support. This has been Joey.
And Ayami.
Signing off. じゃあねー。